Okay, so hopefully this will be uploaded in an appropriate time frame. We're at a point now in the season where we've got a hurricane headed for us, potentially. So they've got what they're calling Dorian that's out in the Atlantic right now. It's going to pretty much just hit Florida and then kind of make its way up to us. And I say kind of because it'll probably still have, like some 70-mile-an-hour winds or whatnot, but it's not going to be a direct hit for us. However, having said that, I figured one of the things I could do is put out kind of a hurricane preparedness group of videos, right? Kind of what we do and what we've done based on what we've learned from the past in order to make our future setups faster and more reliable for us. So having said that, the one thing I've been working on today, which I'm about to show you, is my shop. My shop in no way, shape, or form has been prepared for anything like this. So I literally have spent pretty much most of my day working on that, in between finishing up some projects I have. When I say finishing, I mean literally like polyurethane and some paint and stuff like that. And then while it's drying, I'm working on the door. So, with that being said, let me show you what I got. Okay, so here's what I got. I took this leftover piece of 2x2 steel, the same stuff that I used to make the roller door rail up there, and the gable trim on the building here, and I just screwed it in. So I screwed it in from the back side here. I don't know if you can see that. Look at it. There you go. So I screwed it in on the back side here. I went every 12 inches. I went every 12 inches until I got down to where the lock is, and then I went 1 inch on center apart here from the center. There we go. Let's see that way. And then 12 and 12. So it's about a 28 inch, 30 inch piece like that. And then right here in the middle, I've got a hole. Now, what I did on the other side here is the same thing. This piece is shorter though, so it's another 2-inch piece, or not 2-inch, a 2x2 metal. This one was 8-inch on center because it was shorter. I've got the one hole here for the lock, and then I just screwed into the trim. Now it's only 3/4 thick here, but it'll be enough to really hold it shut. So essentially, the way that this works is I get to roll my door shut. So once I roll the door shut, you can see here that by putting a little bit of inward pressure on the door here, the holes line up. And so then I can run a padlock through there, and that locks this section shut. This whole part here is now bound to the wall there. And then what I did back here was I took an old gate latch hinge, I should say, gate hinge, and I made it a latch. So I bent it into a little S shape there, and then I took some of that same 2-inch material and I flattened out one side here, I folded over the other side, and then I cut it so that when I bent it, you can see there's a little tongue right here, so that the tang, when I go to put it on here, it kind of locks in there. You see how it locks in? So that even once I put the bolt in here, right, to keep it from coming off, it's not going anywhere. So that end of the door will be secure. This end of the door will be secure. And so as a result, my whole door will actually be latched shut. And of course up there's not going anywhere. Like, I don't even have but 1/4 of an inch of play between the wheels and the door, so that's staying where it's at, and that's lag bolted in. So just a little something I did for the shop. Nothing complicated. And then in addition to that, it gives me the opportunity to lock my shop now that I've got product in there. Anyway, so just a little peek at that. I'll end up showing you depending on how things go within the next couple days. I know tomorrow will be Saturday, so hopefully I'll get this uploaded Friday night is the plan. It's Friday, so hopefully I can get it uploaded tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to spend the day kind of prepping the yard. So picking up any loose stuff, buckets that we've got here and there for things, miscellaneous scraps like from around here. I cleaned up most of around my shop, but there's still some stuff that's laying out and about. And then getting really just stuff prepared. I've got, I'll show you some other things. I've got my old work area outside over here, the tarp area that I had that you really only saw in the background. I've we're going to use as an outdoor kitchen if we run out of power. We'll take the tarp down, but I'll show you that process as well, and how we'll have everything else is set up so that it's just ready to go. Wood, I will be bringing wood into my shop here, firewood, so that I have firewood for cooking if I need to, for once again, if we're out of power. Kind of how we do that. And then, more importantly, our storm shutters, because our storm shutters are different than anything that's kind of out there. They are unique in regards to where half of the shutters actually just kind of slide in and lock into place and stay shut. And then on the larger windows where the kitchen is and the living room is, where we had multiple windows in a row, some of those actually hinge so that we can open them like a standard pair of shutters. And that way, in the event that the storm passes, we get light in there real quick. But if we still have to deal with thunderstorms or even potential tornado spur-offs, because we do have to deal with that as well, even once the hurricane or whatnot has passed, we can button up the hatches when we get a notification. So you'll get to see a bunch of those little tidbits depending on how things go. Hopefully this can be informative, and just so you all know, it's not too big of a deal for us. It's not like we're in any kind of like a major danger. If we were, we'd be buttoning up and heading out. But for this particular case, I'm just going to show you how we button up and hunker down, and then how we thrive and not just survive post-storm. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned.